spot again today. Still another weirdly warm day. I think it's 66 degrees today, and I have the 2 blueberry bushes to plant. I have a pink lemonade and a Tifblue, which are later in the later end of blooming. Of fruiting and blooming as the other 2 varieties, which are the sunshine blue, that I have in another part of the yard. So I'm excited to have an extended harvest, and especially the pink lemonade. They just look so beautiful. They're just like a really dark pink color, and so I'm going to have them close to the cherry tree. I do need to take this out and this here, which were really what took it out of me yesterday, so I should be able to dig those up now and put those blueberry bushes back here, not too close to the cherry tree, but from some of the things that I've been seeing from a lot of people who grow fruit trees in small places, it sounds like you can really manage the size of the tree that you're planting, regardless of what type it is, whether it's a dwarf or regular, as well as just kind of the concept that, you know, forests don't space out their trees, and so they manage to do great in the wild. And so that's kind of the approach I'm going to take. Kind of keep everything not too condensed. I want to be able for us to just pop in here whenever we want. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've got a shovel, I've got a rake, I've got my, and I'll explain too how I'm going to prep the dirt for the blueberries, but first I'm going to work on getting these trees out. Probably do a video on this in the spring, but I have a ton of orange daylilies, which are kind of like fake lilies. This is combined with some other bulbs as well. I'll have to figure out what these are. These are a white flower. I'm saving those, but these ditch lilies are, I don't really like them. They're daylilies, they bloom, and then you're just left with a bunch of foliage, which I'm not a fan of. And they spread everywhere. So I've actually been throwing these away, or giving them to my mom, to help with some erosion that she's got on her property. So these I'm actually going to save for her. But if I see these anywhere, I dig them up and I put them to the side. I learned a lesson yesterday, and that was make sure you use the right tool from the beginning. So this is a Sawzall, I think. It's my husband's. I've killed the blade. I think I'll probably not get anyone soon, but this taproot is just so deep in there, and I'm not trying to injure myself anymore, so I'm gonna just dig it out. I want to get as much out as I can, just because I don't want, as it dies off, I don't know, any of the roots to take anything away or get entangled with what I'm putting in. So I'm sure I'll learn something better next time. It's maybe less work, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out. Every time I find a worm, throw it in my little pile here. while I was at Edible Landscaping, they actually sit on, suggested or advised to not dig too big of a hole, but actually to go out wider. That they don't like clay, and it kind of forces the roots to, or the plant to become root bound. And so he suggested a mixture of 75% pine bark and 25%, or shredded pine bark and 25% leaf mold. So I have leaf compost and pine bark mulch that I'm going to mix out, and I'm going to go about twice as wide for the plant, and go one measure down for the root. And I think I'm going to go with let's see, I'll go with the pink on the bottom and this Tifblue higher up. So let's start digging this hole. Daylily roots, just pulling those out. I actually have a post hole digger. That's probably would have been the best tool to use here. And if this gets difficult, I'll probably end up running and grabbing that. I had my boots on, but I, without thinking, grabbed my gardening clogs instead. Oh, one thing I did forget, and I need to go grab it, is some blueberries are acid-loving plants, and so they do need acid similar to hydrangeas to for them to fruit. So I'll show you what I have. All right, what I've got here is the Espoma soil acidifier, and this is for, let's see, apply in the spring. I'm gonna just put a little bit now. I'm not good at following instructions sometimes, so I'll just do this anyway. And then in the spring I'll come back and make sure I put some more. But I think you're supposed to kind of apply this every spring, just to make sure they got what they need to produce. And then you can also, I actually did read that coffee grounds don't provide as much acid as people think they do, and so they don't really, if you're relying on coffee grounds, unless you're really applying them on a regular basis. I'm just gonna put some of this here to help with the root development. And it's supposed to rain today, which will be nice. But I'm still gonna water this, give these guys a heavy water. actually kind of how I prep my oranges when I make orange juice. Squeeze them, roll them around to get the flesh loose, so it's easier to get the juice out. Alright, that's good. I'm gonna bring this up more. Okay. Awesome. Kind of leveling these up a little bit so that it's not, I don't have to keep it on a downhill. What's happening now? Every time I watch YouTube videos, I never hear anyone getting out of breath when doing this kind of stuff. But here I am, and getting dirty, but I just kind of throw myself in. Getting dirty isn't a problem. I don't mind it. Alright, sprinkle some of this soil acidifier. See me doing anything crazy here, put it in the comments so I can learn something. And then I do like seeing where people have done something that no one else really thought of, and it wasn't supposed to work, and it's doing great. So it's kind of like cooking. I like to cook a lot, and I'm really bad at reading recipes and following, and I can never keep something the way it's written. But a lot of times it ends up being really good, and of course I don't measure, so I can never tell my mom how I made something, so she's always hounding me to measure what I'm doing. But it's just the way I am. Kind of layering and mixing. Probably would have been easier to do this in the wheelbarrow, mix it up and just have it ready, but I think this is working okay. Last but not least, a nice healthy water. So you can see this guy doesn't have any leaves on him, and this one has plenty. So I think it probably has to do with the variety. But I do highly recommend Edible Landscaping. Everyone there is so helpful, and they'll spend all the time that you need educating you and telling you about the different varieties. And it's definitely, and they do ship, but it's always nice to go out there. You can sample the varieties. I was thinking about getting one plant, a persimmon, and
Then decided after trying it against it. It's just too astringent for my taste apparently, but it's so wonderful. So definitely try something if you aren't familiar with it, instead of going all in and growing it, because find out you don't like it, you got nothing to do with it, you're not gonna enjoy it. It's gonna take up space that could otherwise be used for something else, and you'll probably end up just pulling it out at some point in the future for something else you want. I'm not going to go too heavy on the water here since it is supposed to rain today, but let me take a step back and get a full picture of what we've been working on in its full glory. I'm on a bit of an incline here, so this is what we've got. 2 blueberries and a cherry tree. Hard work, but definitely worth it. And in the spring, I actually want to put asparagus in this corner here and around this area. So thanks for watching. Until next time.